damn near went Ike Turner on the biatch, but instead of putting my pimp hand down, I just looked at the funky hoe like, is you fucking dumb, stupid, crazy, or all motherfucking three? Next, I put my finger to her lips and shakes my head left to right. I pull my pants up, buckle, and zip my shit, grab my bottle of Louis, and heads west. Finally, I satisfied my curiosity. I pulled the curtain back and damn near blinded the melon-ass bitch with my diamond Colgate smile. Motherfucker was young and tender, just like a nigga like him. Yes, sir, with that sweet lollipop drop basketball melon ass. I give it to the hoe. She tried her damnedest not to recognize a player. I guess she was trying to show respect for the lame-ass L7 square-looking nigga that had hemmed her up all in the curtain in the first damn place. I eased up on her. I acts like I know the hoe. I strike up a conversation, and pretty soon Captain Lame Game faded to the back into black until he was a memory. I figure the pretty young biatch is a star in the making, so I pulled some of my Romeo and Juliet game up out of my archives in my mind. Next thing you know, she humping and bumping what and whoever I choose. Ain't that right, baby? Frank turned his head toward the high school-aged looking brown-haired girl sitting beside him. She knew her response had to be quick and simple. Any little thing could send him into a violent rage. Anyone in his circle who had lived long enough had, at one time or another, felt his wrath. Trapping pretty girls and getting them strung out on the drugs he flooded the streets of St. Louis with was just a hobby. I said, ain't that motherfucking right? Yeah, Daddy, she cooed. Say what, biatch? Huh? She responded in fear. Pop! She put her hands to her face and tried to move away from him, scared he was going to beat her in front of his friends again. Instead, he leaned into the white powder lined up on the glass table, pressed his thumb down on one end of his nose, and snorted. He drew his head back, shook it, and pinched his nose before speaking. Biatch, how many times have I told you to never yeah me? You ain't back in Redneckville. This ain't Jefferson City. Speak the Queen's English like a proper white hoe when you with me, 'cause I don't fuck with no alley-talking ass biatches. Yes, Daddy, I'm sorry. Don't be sorry, just don't do that shit again. Now go over there. He pointed to a man old enough to be her grandfather, sitting on the other side of the mirrored table in a black chair. And give that stuttering motherfucker some head. She got up and walked over to the lounger. She got on her knees and undid his pants. Don't worry, Julie-licious. Daddy got some high for you when you get finished with him and the others, Frank said. The guy looked like a balled-up burnt paper with rat teeth, but anything was better than Frank's sadistic son tying her up and letting the dog mount her from behind, ripping her insides apart again. She silently prayed, begging God for forgiveness and asking him to end her life before she did it herself. Chapter 1. Mama. I could remember it as if it were yesterday. Just thinking about my past brought chills to my spine and a fiery hatred to the core of my soul. I massaged my temples as I maneuvered my platinum Range Rover around our horseshoe driveway. Oh my God, I had just come home from an exhausting and ridiculously crazy real estate closing. I couldn't believe how ignorant and infantile the spoiled rich behaved. I mean, I'd worked my butt off for Dr. Grant Herbert Daniels III. Just because he was the most prominent African-American plastic surgeon in the greater Los Angeles area didn't mean he had to be the most prominent butthole, but he was. The L.A. County Industry Insider reported that Dr. Grant Daniels was plastic surgery's Van Gogh, and he was here to stay. It was rumored that he'd worked on everyone from LaToya to Janet to Liz and Joan. If only the world knew what I knew. Despite all the praise being lavished on him, he was and would always be Dr. Death Daniels to me. I could have died from the breast job he botched. He was in his mid-40s, medium height, sort of plain-looking, with short graying hair. His third wife was younger than his oldest daughter. For the last 2 years, he reported earnings in excess of $3 million. That meant he was doing at least double that, considering what kind of man he was. He'd recently made his last court-ordered 20